just want to share with them some Sarkis folk songs.
My mic's muted. My mic was muted the entire fucking time. You guys couldn't... Alright. Fuck, there's the monkey. Clearly gotten... I have no fucking idea what the fuck I'm doing. I'm so fucking stupid. Professional fucking streamer chat. Professional fucking streamer. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We're reacting today, chat. We're making good fucking content. Today, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video. And then you guys are gonna watch the YouTube video with me. And therefore, we can all feel like we're in a watch party together, like I'm your real life friend. And we're watching this together in the same room. It's such a cool thing, and then you guys can give me money, because that's how much of a friend you are to me. Right, guys? You're my friend. You're my friends, right? If you really were my friends, give me money. Thank you. Okay, but for real, I've seen Tobo's latest video, about why dodging is your fault, and that video is fucking awesome. I watched it, and I'm like, man, this guy's pretty fucking based. This guy's pretty fucking based. And I haven't actually watched this video. I haven't watched this video because I thought I just wouldn't get it because I don't know shit about Enfield. But after watching his dodge roll cancel video, I realized that I probably can fucking understand it. Because it's probably less to do with like Enfield as a concept and more to do with like general stuff. Bro, I ain't even subbed to you. Yeah, you don't need to be subbed to give me money. You can just give me money. I just realized there's like a fucking paint stain on my shirt. Oh my god. I can't see. Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong side. Yeah, there's a fucking paint stain on my shirt. Fucking professional streamer. So let's fucking go chat. Let's fucking go chat. Can we get some let's fucking go chat in chat? Because that's what we're doing, chat. We're reacting today. We are fucking reacting. So far, it's pretty fucking good. Like there was a crescendo into the. I can't. Put captions on because that's what you're supposed to do. What English UK? How do I get English American? Damn, Tobo, why the fuck do you don't have American subtitles? What the fuck?
Much can be said with certainty about Arknights Enfield after its beta test. It's got huge potential, it's going to be very popular, and this NPC is a
Nah, man, I can't I can't fucking take this seriously. So me watching a video while people watch. How do people do this? How do people legitimately just sit down and watch a fucking YouTube video? Legitimately, how the fuck do they do that? It's been 20 seconds and I can't stop fucking laughing. This is so fucking stupid.
Really sorry. Having played the
Am I supposed to make a joke? Cause he's sorry, chat. He's so fucking sorry. I'm so fucking.
duration of the beta, I can confidently say that Arknights Enfield has the potential to define a whole
Oh my God.
generation.
Choking on water. Professional streamer.
Of gacha games. That is not an exaggeration. But I really must emphasize the word potential. Because right now, I am increasingly worried that potential may never end up being realized.
I wonder if said potential could possibly be being ruined by standard gacha game tropes and industry practices. I wonder.
That very same potential could also turn the game into the biggest disappointment I've ever experienced in all my years of playing games.
Nah, bro, you haven't played Nikki, though. Like, Nikki, I literally had no expectations for it, and I was still disappointed. Video is super quiet. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. Yeah. That's too loud. There we go. Okay. Sorry. See, that's why we have the... I know some of you can't read the subtitles because it's in United Kingdom English and not real English. But I'm sure you could probably figure out what he's talking about. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about, so let's just continue.
Firstly, though, I really need to get the glazing out of my system, so let's just get that out of the way, shall we?
No.
There is so much that I fucking love about Enfield. Literally, from the
What?
moment you open the game, it hits...
I came here to have you epically roast this game. I came here expecting you to epically roast this game so I can feel good. I'm a hipster. I'm supposed to... What the fuck, dude? I wanted to... No, you were supposed to be negative. And so then I can, like, say that you're a hater. Dude, what the fuck? Oh, now I have to, like, actually listen to your points because you're acting in good faith. Dude, come on. You're making me do more work.
See with the... God, it's so good. Harking back to its roots, announcing itself to the world before...
Harking back to its roots.
Just for the login screen. The satisfaction of seeing all the sprawling factory belts come together, customizing map traversal with zip lines, the activity in the Dijang with your operators working and saying hello.
You're here, Administrator. How's your day?
The view of Talos 2 from the Nexus, the phenomenal sound design.
Phenomenal sound design. And the first fucking thing I thought of in Arknights is how Mjolnir's S2 sounds like a rubber fucking duck. Oh my god, there's so much shit on screen. It's ruining my fucking bitrate. 720p. Okay.
The eerie environment and music of Valley 4.
I don't know what he's talking about. This is so cool. I also don't know how to fucking comment on it because I don't play this fucking
The
game.
gorgeous environment and music of Jinlong. And the headhunting. Oh my good lord, the headhunting. The music
Bro.
of the banner screen
Bro's gonna compliment the gacha?
gets you all excited as if you're preparing for a rocket launch. You click the button, you hear those distant scintillations.
What? No, the bitrate is just bad. My recordings are. Tobo, what's with this sewing out over the gacha? Holy shit.
And then
Ah! Oh! Oh my god! Shiny! Shiny!
by far the best summoning experience in any gacha game I've ever played.
Bro managed to make... Bro, what? Awesome. Bro, Aurora's a 4-star? What the fuck is this bullshit? She got downgraded? Or no, what the fuck's her name? She's a different name. Same character, different name, except it's like 2 billion years in the future or whatever. I don't know. It's fucking Honkai Star Rail shit, where it's the same character, but they have a different name, and you just have to accept it. It's like, that's not Surtur, that's Leviathan or fucking whatever. I just like soy over it, okay? Hey, Hey, an honest soy boy is a good soy boy.
Not even close. Oh, right, good. Got that out of my system.
Okay, finally, I can start hating on this video. Fuck.
Fortunate enough to play both the alpha and beta of Enfield. In its alpha state, I was hooked. I was full of optimism and I was wholly convinced that it would be my favorite game of all time.
Damn.
So what changed in the beta? Thankfully, not the base. It's even better than before and it has a ton of room to grow and become much deeper. Of course, even though the base has a very obvious target audience, with the nature of it being a gacha game, there will inevitably be those who are simply addicted to account progression as gameplay.
True.
Play games
True.
otherwise have zero interest in.
True. Oh, is that? Oh, fuck. I'm literally doing the thing, chat. He says a thing, and I go true. Yeah, you're gonna have a shit ton. That's probably what this video is just about, maybe. Just people who don't actually give a shit about Enfield and just want to play it because it's another gacha game. Is this Factorio but gacha? For what I understand, Enfield has a base system like Arknights does, except the base system is good and you can actually like do shit with it. I don't know much about it, but for what I do understand, it's Arknights' base, except it has a Factorio element to it where it's all about placing your buildings right, you know, putting the conveyor belts around the place. I think I played a Roblox game like this once, but I'm sure the point that Tobo is going to get into eventually is that there will be people who complain about the base. No, because he did this in his most recent fucking video. He did it in the fat rolling video where he talked about how there's people who genuinely just don't want to play the base. They just want the resources from the base, but they don't want to fucking play the base. And so they're like, "Oh, give us like preset layouts. I want a preset layout. I don't want to go through. I don't want to do the thing that I will be rewarded with. I don't want that. I just want the rewards because that's why I play the game. I don't play the game for the game to then get the rewards that reward me for playing the game. I just want the rewards because the rewards allow me to upgrade more units. And when I get more units, I can do more farming. When I do more farming, I get more resources. So I can use to upgrade more units. And then with all of these units, I can have all of those units. And then with all of those units, I get to have all of those units. And so, yeah, it's just purely just, hey, I don't want to actually play the fucking game. I want to play a gacha game. And gacha games aren't about actual gameplay. Gacha games are about presetting your lineup and letting them go in for you. Again, I can't pretend to be experienced on Enfield because I haven't played it. I think I literally just missed the ability to sign up for the beta because I'm stupid. And I thought that you actually had to be like an important member of the community to have access to the beta, which I'm not. And so I missed out on it. To be honest, I wasn't that interested in it because through looking at Enfield, I was immediately just thinking like, oh, fuck. They're making Genshin slop. Because after Genshin came out, you have all these other games that are just Genshin again. You have all of these like Genshin derivative games, which is funny because Genshin's already a derivative game off of Breath of the Wild. And so now you have like all of these other, you know, these other games like Wuthering Waves. I remember I played Tower of Fantasy for a little bit. There's others that I can't think of right now, but I have a bunch of these like derivative Genshin slop kind of games. And that was the main reason why I wasn't too interested in Enfield, because it's like, oh shit, it's just gonna be that again. But Tobo hates gaming. Tobo hates gaming. So if he likes this game, then it might actually be good. Stream is boring. Go gotcha break. It's been like 5 minutes. Wuwa is a Genshin like, yeah. Like, it's this new kind of thing where Genshin was so successful that everything needs to replicate Genshin. And so I was just hesitant to be excited for Enfield because I'm thinking like, no, there's no way Hypergriff would do this. But after watching Tobo's latest video about it made me think like, okay, Hypergriff is a bit more of a more artistic company. You know, they're the artists that lead the autists. That's how it works. And so it kind of made me a little excited for Enfield because you do have that same intent and that same care that they put into Arknights. Because a lot of the reason why I like Arknights is because of design intent. There's a lot of like intentional things that make the game an objectively good game, especially when it comes to like low rarity progression. You know, everything that isn't 6 stars is intentional, and, you know, well, 6 stars are intentional, but they're more modern 6 stars are definitely the more sloppy of stuff. But you have like, you know, a lot of like half of the 6 stars and like everything else, there's intention behind it. There's something to there that exists to create a better experience. And it's that kind of integrity that Hypergriff has that makes me, that Tobo kind of said still exists in Enfield, that makes me kind of excited for it. But again, it's also like I'm not just going to play it because it's Arknights. If anything, I'm going to play it because it's Hypergriff, and Hypergriff's good at making games. They also have Papucom, and I don't know what the fuck that is.
Just to feed that addiction. For those players, rather than simplify the gameplay, which would only annoy its fans and still wouldn't be good enough for the gacha addicts, they instead created these wacky inflatable tube guys, which you then have to murder in cold blood.
No fucking way!
Tutorials for it. They are quite possibly the most needlessly hand-holding tutorials I've ever had to do, but I don't mind their existence at all if it means they can keep cooking and make it deeper, more complex, and even more fun and satisfying in the future. And for those who are hoping for just another account progression...
I just want to say, I have no fucking idea what's going on this screen. It's... Everything has... Like, there's slight, like, drop shadow behind all the text. Again, I don't know if it's just because Tobo's recording is fucking dog shit. But the text is kind of hard to read. But again, that might be because Tobo is recording with a literal potato, so I don't know.
Dopamine machine, who lament the mere thought of meaningfully engaging with the base at all. Fear not, there is actually an easy solution. Don't play it.
Whatever moments you have.
Midland! Oh shit, we're getting more
we're here
ads.
for them. Midland, brighter.
I just need to stop using fucking Opera GX because it doesn't fucking work. He said a joke and I laughed at it. There, that's how a React streamer does it. Ugh.
So, in spite of everything I've mentioned so far, Enfield has made what I feel are very significant mistakes. Pretty much all of them are fixable. These are far from permanent. But in general, beta tests tend to look pretty similar to their full release versions.
True.
So let's dive in.
That's kind of the
main story is...
Like, the main point of a beta test is that this is what the game should look like, and the only thing that's really... There shouldn't be major mechanical changes after a beta. It's mainly just tweaking shit. Pro leaves the ads out, he's the GOAT. Yeah, no, I'm doing it... I made Tobo, like, 0.2 cents there. So I...
Put it bluntly, bad. There's no nuance.
No, you guys want me to skip the ads because you guys hate Tobo. I love Tobo. He's my man. He's like Jesus. He's gotcha Jesus. And so that was 0.2 cents there. Now, if every single one of you individually watched the video instead of watching me watch it, he would have made 0.14 cents instead of 0.02 cents. But we're a community. And instead, you can give that money that Tobo could have made to me instead, because I'm an amazing content creator.
Landbreakers are completely one-dimensional and uninteresting, just generic bad guys who want you dead. Compare them to Reunion from the Arknights main story. They're introduced to us as fighting for the same goal as Rhodes Island, that being to liberate the infected, but with very different methods. There is a clear conflict. I understand the motivations of the antagonists and how they ended up where they are. Landbreakers have none of this. We also know almost nothing about the aims or motivations of the main villain, Neferith, who might just be one of the most toothless villains
She's a Cyclops! She's a Cyclops!
Ever seen. With the sole exception of one line when you first meet her, she shows up from time to time, says some vague bullshit, and fucks off again. How on earth can this be written by Hypergriff, the same people who gave us Patriot and Tallulah? They can very reasonably fix all of these issues before the game's release, but the alphas...
It's so weird when I hear people say words incorrectly. Clearly it's Tallulah and not Tallulah, but I guess that's just weird UK English, not real English, so I don't know. I hate Tobo. He's such a Tobo. Why are you watching a Tobo video? He's such a Tobo in the Arknights community. He is. He literally is like, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. You know what I love? I love how I'll say shit and then Tobo says the same shit, but people call me a fucking hateful asshole for saying the same shit. Nah, Tobo, this video has like 5 billion views, so he probably has received more hate on this video than I have in my entire life. And it's probably all by very intelligent individuals.
The story wasn't good either, so I'm not convinced they will. I have no issue with the notion of a simple story well told, but that does not describe Enfield's story at all. And it's not just the writers who are at fault. At one point, Chen refers to Neferith as Nephi, which I found extremely weird. Why is she giving the main villain a friendly nickname? Turns out, this is because in every single language except English, Chen says essentially the equivalent of Nefer something or Nefer whatever, because the name went over her head.
Oh, Yostar bad! Yostar can't fucking localize.
Way of adding to her characterization. Instead, the English translators collectively hotboxed their entire office and decided Chen is actually giving her the kind of cute nickname you'd normally give to close friends.
Wait, so you're telling me that the Yostar local... I don't even know if Yostar published this. But you're telling me that there are people who don't actually care about, like... Because clearly, I mean, this is clearly the localizers. I don't know if it's Yostar doing it, but clearly that's the fault of the localizers for not understanding the tone and instead trying to do what, like, every other gacha game does, which is have dog shit tone. Like, so many... It's Hypergriff publishing it. So they would have control over the localization. Unless they're just that... This is Griffline, not Yostar. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So they just... Okay. No, that's entirely the look. Because the first thing I think of is that you do have like a lot of gacha games that have this very like, you know, very cutesy and fun kind of tone to it. It's like your Blue Archive types where literally nothing can be serious. Everything has to be happy-go-lucky. And it's like these like the localizers are used to that, and that's what they think they're supposed to do. And so they're like, oh yeah, it's Nephi. It's not fucking whatever. It's like, that's the first thing I think of. It's like the localizers are too used to shitty gacha games.
I am astounded at how incompetent this is, but then again, these are the same translators who translated cold to cryo, for no reason in particular, I'm sure. Most of the dialogue is...
God fucking damn it, Tobo. I was gonna make that joke. Fuck it. Dude, it's my job to make the joke. I wanted to make the fucking Genshin Impact joke. Dude. Bitch. Damn it.
To cryo, for no reason in particular, I'm sure.
What? I wanted to make that fucking joke, asshole.
Exasperating.
You should feel lucky, because I am the only one who can take care of technical problems like this. Say no more. Stop moving already and do...
Amazing voice acting. This character's design feels so weird to me. It's so pink. I appreciate the tube sleeves. This character's design is very interesting. What the fuck am I looking at? Is she supposed to be sarcasm or something? What is this?
Do something about that ether side rupture before it gets any worse.
Guys, writers, please! Is it too much to ask not to be treated?
Okay, I was distracted. I didn't even realize what point he was making. I was just looking at how fucking bizarre this character design is.
Stop moving already and do something about that ether side rupture before it gets any worse.
Guys, writers, please! Is it too much to ask not to be treated like an idiot? Who could your target audience possibly be for this dialogue such that you feel the need to explicitly state the obvious?
Like, the joke makes itself. She's a Yvonne Voiver. Alright, I don't know what the fuck that is. That sounds familiar, but... that sounds very familiar, but I'm not sure about... God damn it, he's making the joke! Like, I was gonna be like 2 steps ahead. I was gonna be like, okay, he's gonna make the joke about how, you know, obviously they're making the game fucking, you know, brain dead so gacha game players can understand it because they're fucking morons. You know, the people who play the game for the story. He already made the fucking joke! He already made the joke! It's what puzzle is, a wyvern Dragon Lady. Dragon race, Arknights fate. I thought the dragons were supposed to be the Dracos, like Chen. Or no, Lung. Lung is a dragon. And then Draco is also a type of dragon. I thought Puzzle was just a funny lizard. Yeah, he's a Vuivir. I don't even know how the fuck to pronounce that. Don't even know how to fucking pronounce that. So you have the Lung, which is what, it's like the Chinese dragons. That's what Chen is. You have the Dracos, which is like a dragon race. And then you have the Vuivirs, which are Puzzle. Saria is a, you guys can you guys just want to tell me every operator that is this race? I don't know either. They're just dragons to me. Yeah, I thought they were just... I thought it was just dragons. Ugh. I'm sure there's a very important lore reason for it that I'm too stupid to understand, so... Bagpipe is a wyvern. You guys can just tell me every single operator that is a dragon. Go ahead, just tell me literally every single operator that is this race. Vuivir... I don't know if I'm saying that right. Are wyverns, Draco or dragons, Lung are Chinese dragons. It's so funny how a fictional animal has all of these. Lazy is a Kirin. Okay. So there's even more dragons. And okay, alright. You could have just called all of them Sarkaz and that would have been fucking fine. You know what? No, they're all Sarkaz. Fuck it. I don't care.
Is multiple times and make sure everything is repeated very slowly for clarity. Oh, motherfucker! Consistent with the emerging trend of disappointing writing, frustratingly are the characters. Not because their writing is bad per se, but because there's just so much wasted potential. For example, Ember is a Sanctor and Shahi is a Sarkaz. We know from the Arknights story that the Sanctor and the Sarkaz are seemingly always in conflict with each other due to what the Sarkaz see as the Sanctor's betrayal.
Whoa, could that imply there'd be racial tensions between characters? Oh no, that could cause controversy. Oh no, we don't want that for our game.
An image of a Sarkaz and a Sanctor holding hands was very prominent in Arknights' 4th concept trailer as a holy shit moment because its meaning was so significant.
'Cause lore!
Meanwhile, the only mention of something even slightly resembling a connection to this lore is one line in Ember's file saying, "The children born and raised in Talos 2 would never learn that angels and sanctum used to carry beautiful meanings in times past." If I'm interpreting this correctly, this is the writer's way of saying that the entire history of Terra, all the extraordinary, catastrophic, mountain-moving events that directly led to Terran races ending up on Talos 2, not important. None of it matters anymore. I am so disappointed in the writers. What a
because for what I understand, Enfield takes place like 1,000 years after like the Arknights lore, right? It's something like that. If I am taking this just purely at face value, that Tobo says is 100% fucking correct, and he's not wrong, because Tobo could never be fucking wrong. It's just, yeah. Because to me, legitimately, the most I don't really know much about the Arknights lore, clearly, because I don't fucking know the 5 different kinds of dragons that exist. But I do think that the Sarkaz are probably the coolest part about Arknights. I think it's a very, very, like, unique kind of, you know, element to it. 150 years, okay. But I feel like that, because to me, the most sensible excuse would be, oh, so much time has passed that a lot of these stories could be, like, considered folklore or something. Like, a lot of the shit that happened in actual Arknights could have been so far along in the past, you know, and this is so many generations ahead that it's so, you know, that the actual stories and the actual things that happened could have been so separated from, you know, from what's currently happening. But if it's only 150 years, I'm sure that, like, shit in Arknights happen. Like, the Arknights lore consists of longer than 150 fucking years. So it's like, I don't even... So it's like, yeah, it's like to not make any kind of element about that at all doesn't make any sense to me. But again, Tobo could just be lying, so who the fuck knows?
monumental waste of such an incredible wealth of lore at your disposal. All that being said, though,
Yeah, like, they didn't even talk about how they met the Rainbow Six operators. Like, what the fuck, dude? Imagine that. That'd be so cool.
I must admit, I do love the fact the resident Australian, Aviwena, says verbatim, "Bird and beast piss? How does it taste like? Crikey fucking bloody oath, Sheila, you piss-drinking cunt." Despite nearly all the writing being a massive letdown, I want to make it explicitly clear the voice actors, thankfully, are actually good at their job. And have done marvelous work with the material they've been-
That pink character did not have the best voice actor, I will say. P.S. Warfare is still alive in Enfield. Alright. I would never lie. YouTube video essays are never wrong. True. I should always just take everything you say at face value.
Given. I'm a huge fan of Aviwena, Dapan, and Wolfguard's regional accents.
Oh, of course. You're the boss. You point the way.
Not a problem. Leave it to me.
And on top of that, the animations are way more expressive, the models are outstanding, and their idle chatter adds a ton of...
Idealism is always detached from reality, and it's the first step towards disappointment.
Based? Actually based.
Thank you, Wolfguard. Also, just one more thing. I am no prude. I am a straight man...
No, he fucking hates boobs. Toboro fucking hates boobs. Literally, he does.
...who plays gacha games. I'm not gonna pretend not to like fan service. But guys, holy fuck, relax. Subtlety is dead. Humanity is cooked.
What is this shit? No, yes,
Have
no.
mercy on my soul. Guide me from the wayward woman, Lord Jesus. Now, as I said before...
Because the thing is that I do find... And any human being out there who, like, adamantly defends... Okay, maybe I shouldn't be so blatant about it, but people who are very adamant about defending, like, fan service kind of stuff, to me is very bizarre, because a game can exist without fan service. To me, it's... To me, the element of fan service is like having a, you know, like a cherry on a fucking cake, you know? It's there. You can have a cherry on a cake. And the cherry can make the cake taste better. It can. However, if the cake is made of cardboard, then you're not actually eating a cake. You're eating a cherry. If the only thing you like about the cardboard cake is the cherry on top, then it's still a shit cake. And you're not eating a cake. You're eating a cherry. However... It's also possible to put a cherry on lasagna. Now, a cherry might be good, and lasagna might be good. But sometimes you don't put cherries on lasagna. Having the cherry on the thing isn't always an objectively good thing. And the thing is with Arknights is that it's very clear that Arknights' tone is meant to be very serious. A lot of its characters are meant to be very serious. I'm not, for what I've seen, you know, I don't know much about Enfield. But I do think that you can have a big tonal whiplash when it does come to certain games. And the big reason why I like Arknights is because they are competent in themselves to give you good characters. The Arknights is capable of giving you good characters that can exist without that cherry. Because the characters are lasagna. They're capable of giving you good lasagna. You don't need the cherry on it. And to me, people who are putting the cherry on the lasagna are not actually eating the lasagna. They're just eating the cherry. You know? You'll have people who have... You know, who have this great, amazing, masterfully made lasagna on it, and they'll be like, okay, but what if there were cherries on it? And then they'll continue to only eat the cherries and not eat the lasagna, you know? And so I do think that there are times where there is much of a, you know, tonal issue where it's not actually appropriate to really implement that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that because boob's bad. I'm saying that because very often... do you end up in a situation where it's like considered black and white, where it's either, can it be spaghetti instead? Sure. You don't put fucking, sure. You know what I mean. It can be spaghetti if you want. You don't put cherries on spaghetti. But there is a time and a place for that kind of stuff. And often in more character-driven kind of stories where you're meant to take things seriously is not where that kind of stuff is meant to really be. Because that creates a kind of tonal whiplash that makes it very difficult to really connect with those characters. it's very difficult to kind of have a and chocolate instead of cherry. All right. I made a ravioli pizza one. That doesn't sound that weird. That sounds kind of normal. But fan service shouldn't always just be seen as an objective good, and me criticizing fan service isn't me like hating boobs, you know? There is certain situations where such a thing can make a game better. Now, of course, you do have to ask yourself, in what situation does fan service actively make the game better? Typically, it's when you have a very chill, a very relaxed game where the characters aren't, you know, too much of the point of it. It's more perhaps the gameplay. It's more perhaps, you know, all of that kind of stuff. The characters more window dressing, if anything. But again, I also do think that very, very often do you have a lot more cherries than actual cake. And very often people will only eat the cherries. They're never eating cake. You know, it's all cardboard cake. And so, again, to me, it's difficult to rationalize, like, what kind of game does it truly, truly make sense, you know, to have? Like, I mean, I guess, like, something like GTA, I don't know, that's the first thing I thought of that has boobs in it that I'm not really offended by. Because, again, it's like, that's an element that makes sense. You know, it's an element that makes sense for the world. It's something that, you know, that's kind of the cherry on top. It's there to enjoy it, but it's not really meant to be a selling point. But for what for Arknights, and again, I don't know much about Enfield, so I can't really say it. But I do think that you can create that kind of whiplash by trying to lean a lot more into the cherries rather than trying to make a good fucking lasagna. Because to me, Arknights is lasagna, which is weird because I don't actually like lasagna. Arknights is spaghetti. Arknights is spaghetti. It's the best spaghetti you've ever had. And then, yeah, you know, so the cherries on it kind of make it worse because you don't put cherries on spaghetti. I've repeated this analogy like 50 times.
Everything I have mentioned so far is fixable. Bad writers can be replaced and characters can be given good writing later
Tobo,
on.
what the fuck are you doing? Tobo, what the fuck?
Is why all of this is negligible compared to the #1 issue I have with Arknights Enfield in its beta state, because it is not fixable once it is released.
The most restrained approach is a plus. You play it in public.
We
True.
first need to talk about combat.
Finally, we're getting into shit that I care about. Let's go.
Combat in Enfield, for the most part, revolves around skills and skill points. Use a shared SP bar to trigger a battle skill, which in theory triggers a combo skill, which triggers even more of them, and so on.
Okay, what? Wrath of the Syracusans moment. She is coming. What do you mean?
Combat in Enfield, for the most
yeah, I
part,
get
revolves
that.
around skills and skill points. Use a shared SP bar to trigger a battle skill, which in theory triggers a combo skill, which triggers even more of them, and so on. Combo skills are essentially just QTEs with extra steps that deal damage. You press E when the prompt shows up, and it gets the neurons going. Basically.
Okay. I want to try and figure out what the fuck you're talking about. Revolves on skills, because it's Arknights. Use the shared SP bar. So, the thing on the bottom.
Combat in Enfield, for the most part, revolves around skills and skill points. Use a shared SP bar to trigger a battle skill, which in theory triggers a combo skill.
What the fuck is a combo skill? This is why I didn't fucking want to watch this, because I didn't know I'd understand it. What the fuck's a combo skill? From what I've heard, Enfield is more similar to Xenoblade than something like Genshin. Yes, but it's a gacha game.
Skill, which triggers even more of them, and...
Because for what I've gotten from the Tobo calling every single player who can't dodge a horrible human being video, but you can move the subtitles. What? Yeah, you can. You can drag them. Just drag them around. That the combat in Enfield extends a lot more than just you spam the attack button and then you spam left click and then press E and Q when it fills up, like in Genshin. You know, you press E, and you press Q, then you press E, and then you switch to the next character. You press Q, and then you press E. Like, you know, that's essentially how fucking Genshin works. However, Tobo's trying to explain to me how the combat works, and I have no fucking idea what he's talking about, which is my fault for not knowing how this game fucking works. But I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what a combo skill is. Just QTEs with extra steps that deal damage. It's like just like a fighting game combo. Like you have to input the right things at the right time. And it's like, oh, you gotta press left click, R, W, P, all at the same time. Or it's like, oh, while you're moving backwards, left click twice, and you'll do a dash attack. Like I don't really know what that means.
Combo skills are essentially just QTEs with extra steps that deal damage. You press E when the prompt
Okay, never mind. You just literally fucking explained it. I'm literally fucking retarded. Okay.
shows up and it gets the neurons going. Basic attack strings essentially serve as the cost of...
When the E shows up, click it. Completely overthought it.
getting a final strike, which is the last hit in the sequence.
See, I am a professional streamer. I have zero fucking ability to comprehend the videos I'm watching.
Final strikes restore SP, so for the most part, you really want to be getting the full sequence of basic attacks to that end. That logic generally applies to the combat as a whole, given the importance of...
For what I remember, the entirety of combat is supposed to be about, Enfield should force players to do a half circle back. But a lot of the gameplay is about dedicating yourself to certain combos, because you don't want the combo to be interrupted. It's about making the active decision to do certain things at a certain time, because you're actively rewarded for dedicating yourself to a full combo. And SP is supposed to generate slowly, because you're not supposed to spam the skills. The skills are meant to be your reward for good combat. So the more that you are playing successfully in combat, the more SP you're capable of getting. While, from the other video, people are just like, no, you should have faster SP gain, because how am I supposed to play the game?
Skills, you want to be maximizing SP restoration, hence the prevalence of Arknights in nearly every team composition. Her individual damage may not be anything noteworthy, but her ability to generate SP is excellent, and more SP means more
Wow, that was a fucking hilarious reference. I too know Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm honestly kind of surprised she isn't a 6-star.
Bro's metagaming? Tobo's metagaming? Bro. Just agree with chat like most of the professional streamers. Chat. This is so insane, chat. This is fucking incredible, chat. What the fuck was I? Oh yeah, he's talking about how character good in all lineup generate SP. Chat, it's Suzerain in real life. This is insane. Give it up for Arknight.
Her individual damage may not be anything noteworthy, but her ability to generate SP is excellent, and more SP means more damage. I'm honestly kind of surprised she isn't a 6-star.
Tobo
beta also adds the
Tobo wishing less accessibility. All right, man. Tobo's already metagaming.
ability to dodge.
Absolutely, just.
Due to the nature of final strikes being your primary way of restoring SP, you need to commit to the full sequence of basic
That's
attacks
what
to
I
hit it,
said!
which means currently there is still very much a choice every time an enemy attacks you of either dodging or taking the hit.
For what I remember, there isn't the ability to animation cancel. I wonder if Vanguards, if they're added, will help with SP generation. No, they will generate you DP, but you can't do shit with it. Oh, I can't wait for Myrtle to be added, but her name is actually Myrtella, and she's 200 years old. And you put her, everyone has her in their squad because she literally does nothing, but she generates SP like everything else. She's the meta pick, and they're also going to have a new character called Blag Pipe, and Blag Pipe makes it so Myrtella is capable of generating that SP even quicker. So it'll be a very interesting metagame once that eventually happens, where the entire squad is entirely fucking SP generation. You can't cancel almost anims. Almost all. Okay. You can't cancel almost all animations, just you often need to choose not to do that in the beta version. Okay. Because I thought I remember you saying something about being unable to cancel animations, so I'm not 100% sure. But okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it's like if you go in for the attack, you want to full commit so you can get the SP, or you can dodge to avoid an attack.
often not the best move.
Yes.
But it still gives me cause for concern. Future 6-stars are inevitably going to be designed to take advantage of more and more gameplay mechanics. Right now, the dodge...
Or make the game easier and easier to play. So who the fuck knows? Because, again, it's that duality. It's you can have a 6-star that has a really interesting mechanics. It does a really, really good job of wanting to add some cool nuance to the game. Or it's a 6-star that purely exists to make the gameplay experience easier. Like, who the fuck knows? You might have a 6-star that's capable of generating SP on every single fucking attack. You might have a 6-star that's capable of preserving the combo, even if it gets interrupted. Who the fuck knows? Maybe they'll have a 6-star that extends the iframes of the fucking dodge by like 80 seconds. So it's literally unfucking killable. Or Hypergriff won't do what they did with Arknights and continue to make well-made 6-stars.
only exists as a means of survival rather than facilitating damage. But if a dodge exists in any capacity, there is a very real danger of them leaning much further into it by, say, having a 6-star with a combo skill triggered by a dodge, and then more units with kits centered around dodging who synergize with...
Okay. He said it. He fucking said it. He said it. A new 6-star whose basic attacks don't get interrupted by the dodge. Same wavelength, man. Same wavelength. We're just... Same fucking wavelength, Tobo.
With that 6-star, and a new 6-star whose basic attacks don't get interrupted by the dodge, and before long, you'll end up with a player base wanting more and more action, understandably seeking to flex their ADHD action gamer reflexes as their expression of skill.
Or trying not... I don't really think it would be people trying to flex their ADHD action gamer reflexes as their expression of skill, chat, but rather people wanting the game to be as easy to play as possible. To have 6-stars whose innate kits are based around being as easy to use, to just have a bunch of upsides that make them just objectively better, not objectively better, but just easier to use. Because again, if you can take away the whole combo system by making it so you can dodge, you know, you're taking away an element of the game that's supposed to reward a player for thinking well. You're supposed to rewarding a player for actually committing, rather than instead just like, oh, you don't have to engage with the intended gameplay mechanic if you pull for the 6-star. And then what happens is that 6-star gets really popular and everyone likes that 6-star now because it makes the game easier for them. And then now every other operator in the game is being compared to that 6-star that completely and utterly bypasses a lot of the actual intent and learning curve of the game. And then eventually that's going to be a success, and they're going to add more and more operators that end up taking away from the actual skill test of the game purely for the sake of making the game as accessible and as appealing as possible to the gacha hive mind. Or they won't, and they learned their mistake from Arknights. Because that's what Wishadel is. That's what Logos is. That's what those operators are. That's what Mudrock is. It's just an operator that is incredible. Okay, Mudrock maybe not because she's expensive, but you know, your Wishadel and your Logoses are just so incredibly easy to use. It's impossible to misuse them. So it is possible it might happen. But again, who knows? I will say here in hindsight, the focus on action versus strategy wasn't the best decision, but nonetheless serves the wider purpose in making the points I wanted to make. The action gamer reflexes. Okay, I see. You would have rather wanted to talk about strategy rather than like, you know, just ARPG stuff. Of just like, oh, it's like Dark Souls. You could roll. Chat. Make Enfield a Souls-like instead, obviously. Isn't that like the whole thing that Tobo was saying in this other fucking video?
But with Enfield's base building being the way it is, and with the fact that they didn't dumb down the actual substance of the base building at all since the alpha, the vision the Enfield team had was clearly aimed at the kind of player who likes to obsess over details, who may not necessarily want something based on reflexes, but instead something more strategic, controlled and precise. The base obviously appeals to this kind of player, while the
There you go. There we go. No, you'll see what I mean later. Okay. I think this is kind of what you're talking about, though. Like, yeah, action versus strategy. Okay, I see what you mean. You're saying, like, the wanting to, like, you have elements that could lean the game into more of like an ARPG versus a game that's more strategic like Arknights. Because the intention to me is that, yeah, it's more strategic. How about a lore reason? Lore shouldn't make, no. Lore should not, no. Isn't the whole idea of like, oh, the boss when you face them versus the boss when you unlock them? It's like, no. Just because you have an operator doesn't mean, just because the operator is canonically strong doesn't mean that the operator should just be allowed to be completely overpowered and break a lot of the game as it's intended to be played. Like, if you want to do something like, oh, you could give like Logos a fucking really strong skill, you know, but balance that skill, make it really, really like difficult to charge up to, have there be some kind of like, you know, downside to it. Like, flavor shouldn't just be like, oh, it's the most overpowered fucking thing ever because it's strong. It's like, that's no, I don't think that should be a case at all. Like, the game should exist, the actual gameplay should exist separately from the story. It shouldn't just be like, oh, you know, the reason why Logos is overpowered is because he's overpowered in the story. It's like, well, okay, let's just make Patriot a character. Now he has 50 bajillion fucking defense and a bajillion HP and just, it actually has like no HP. But you have like all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just look at Harold. Yeah. Imagine if Harold came out and he just did that shit. You summon him and he just puts fucking heaters on the map, and then every 5 seconds he just wipes the board because, you know, he just fucking feels like it. The enemies didn't turn on the heaters, so that's their fault. Yeah, Harold's literally just the boss when you play him versus the boss when you unlock him. And what's funny is that you unlock Harold before you beat him. It's so weird to me that he's the welfare for that event, but he's also the boss. Maybe in the lore he joins you around halfway through the story, but then he turns on you later. I don't know, but that's funny. But yeah, no, things should not be strong just because they're strong in lore. Things should be balanced because that's how you make a good game.
Combat has ended up with a sort of identity crisis. Unsure of what it really wants to look like, trying to be a bit of everything while never actually excelling at any of them. Most of the strategy comes from the team comps rather than the execution. The actual
oh, hi Aurora.
Doing damage and so on.
Literally just Aurora. Okay. Yeah, you gotta love that. Okay. Strategy comes from the team comps rather than the execution. Uh-oh, it's a gacha game. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, I don't. A lot of gacha games that typically do just kind of like to sit on their ass and just not have any actual gameplay typically like to rely more on the team building rather than the actual gameplay itself, which is why Arknights is so good, because 90% of the gameplay is about the gameplay rather than necessarily the team, you know, making the team squad making whatever. You know, it's less about the squad. I mean, okay, maybe it's more 50-50 rather than 90-10, but like a huge element of why I like Arknights is because it is more to do with your actual skill as a player, and you can show that skill through playing the game. And if you're good enough, you can just kind of use whoever the hell you want, which is something that I like. But a lot of gacha games really, because it's really easy to design a game that has no fucking gameplay, and instead the entire game is based around the characters, because that way it's really easy to control the player. The developers are really, you know, if they can make a game that has very little gameplay and the entirety of your success is based around what squad you have or what team you have, then the developers can manufacture the game in a certain way to where it kind of requires metagaming a lot, and to where there is very little room for skill expression. And that's what scares me. That's usually the sign of, that's not a good sign of a lot of games. Thanks for the sub, Dark Nezel Idol.
Team comps rather than the execution. The actual process of triggering combos and doing damage and so on, while satisfying for a while, is very easy.
Aurora being playable is so random to me. Like, I know she's not Aurora. She's like Snow Light, or fucking whatever her name is. But it's so weird to me that Aurora, of all players, of all characters, that's like choosing Verdant. It's like, oh yeah, here's Verdant, everyone's favorite. It's like, I like Aurora. Aurora's really fun, but it just seems like such a random addition. It's like, okay, Chen, okay, it's not really Chen, but it's Chen. You know, you got Surtur, okay, Surtur. Yeah, Aurora. It's like, that's such a random pick. I'll always make fun of Honkai Star Rail for basically just being the menus when the game plays. Oh yeah, Honkai Star Rail is such a boring game. I played it and it's so boring. So boring. I feel like it's going to be much harder to design environments and gimmicks that will give opportunities for diverse operator use in a game like Enfield compared to Arknights. Yeah, because the main reason why Arknights is so good is because operators are designed for specialty. Each operator has their own use in their own niche, with the exception of like the hyper generalist like 6 stars. And you have like more generalized like subclass, what I call baseline operators. You know, operators that are really in tune with their subclass's main identity, and that's the extent of their kit. More to function as like, yeah, baselines for the subclass. And so I'm sorry, I got distracted. Those are the actual class icons from Arknights. I got distracted. Got distracted and now I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. But when you do have like each individual operator has specialty to them, it gives you a reason to use them. Even if that use isn't necessarily useful, like Tamimi, that specialty is an element of what makes that operator fun or useful. But again, when you have everything being focused around team building rather than actual gameplay, it ends up in a very it's less to do with specialty and more to do with what is the objectively best thing that I can do, you know, especially when you're not capable of actually expressing playstyle through operators, which to me, I think that would be the best thing you can do, is to make every single operator like function in their own unique playstyle. And so you can just choose who you enjoyed using the most. But again, that's difficult because that runs into the, you know, you need to synergize team building. You need to be able to, I don't think that this game has equipment, which I think is a fucking good thing, but there's a lot of things that, that can handicap that you should be able to play the operators that you want to play. And it shouldn't just be play the best lineup. But again, it can be really difficult to kind of design that unless you're designing around specialty. But you can't really do that in a very action-focused game, even if it is quite strategic. You would really need to have a really, really, really well-designed cast of characters to make it in a way where each operator has their own specialty. Because the thing is with Arknights is it's like, okay, there's flying enemies. I'll use a marksman. But imagine if in Enfield, it's like, oh, there's a big boss and he does fire damage. I need to do ice damage to him. Like, you know, it takes away some of that. That's not really what I'm talking about, but that's kind of what specialty would end up in there, where it's more just like rock, paper, scissors, countering shit. It does have equipment, unfortunately. Ah, fuck. But yeah, it's like, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh no, it's elements, which means element interactions. And it's like, is that going to be the why you use someone? Because, oh, he's a guard, but he's a frost guard, or a cryo guard or whatever. So that's why I need to use them, not because their kit plays into this very important role importantly, but more that because it's a lot easier to design specialty in Arknights because it's a tower defense game where everything's a lot more strategic, everything's a lot more intentional. Or for something like Enfield, where it's meant to be a lot more of like I don't want to say action RPG, but because Tobo doesn't really want to call it that, but being it more like an action RPG, being Genshin slop, it is very much possible to design around specialty and operators, but that's not gonna happen. That's not easy at all. And so to me, the best thing to do is to just make each and every kit interesting and unique, and to try and make it so it's more to do with the player's play style rather than to do with, you know, that kind of stuff. If they can pull off like specialty, then it really, really works well. If they can actually work it to where it's like, you know, one operator is, you know, good in this situation. This operator has this niche. Like, oh, this operator's a tank. And like, you know, this operator is a defender and they gain aggro for a little bit, you know, and then this operator is capable of doing damage from a long distance. And maybe there's certain bosses that are like, oh, here's a sniper and this sniper is capable of shooting from a long range. But this boss is a really, you know, short range kind of boss. And so that would be something you could take advantage of that. It's like, oh, there's these kinds of aerial enemies, and so I need to make sure I have this kind of sniper for that kind of run. Like, a lot of it has to do with enemy design. The best way, like, enemy design is why, like, enemy design comes first, and then you design your operators to be able to interact with those situations. Again, it's like enemies and bosses first, and then you start thinking about, okay, how can we design operators around this kind of stuff? Versus the Genshin situation, where it's just like, what if everyone did the same thing? They all just did damage, but in different elements. And you just need all of them. And because everything is super generalized, and there's no specialty anymore, the only way you can compare operators isn't with use case, it's with generic power level and DPS comparisons, which is what happens in Arknights. That's why specialty is so important. Because if you can give everyone a role, if you can give everyone a use that plays into the actual gameplay loop, then that's how you can make, you know, fun to use, memorable in an entire cast of nice to play characters that don't leave a bunch of players like sitting on their fucking hands, just being like, oh, well, you didn't get the fucking, you know, meta super generalist, so you can go fuck yourself because you're not gonna be able to beat this fucking boss. And so, again, I don't know because I don't play Enfield, but like, I don't know what any of these guys' kits are like. Like, oh, maybe Aurora, what the fuck, Snowbreak, fuck, whatever her name is, Aurora. Maybe Aurora does have like some really cool, like, maybe she just still plays into like crowd control. Maybe she's capable of debuffing. Maybe she has certain elements in her kit that make her stand out, make her unique, and make her useful in certain situations, rather than just like, she has 1600 defense and does 1200 DPS versus this other defender who's got 1800 defense but does 800 DPS, and it's like less to do with it. Shoeshine. Snowshine, that's her name. It's Aurora. Does anyone fucking call her that? Or is there any human being who's like, yeah, that's a different character? Like, no, that's Aurora. I don't know how a human being can look at that and be like, oh yeah, that's Snowshine, my favorite unique character. It's literally like those memes where it's just like, ah, yeah, me with my color changed, my palette swap OC.
Use a battle skill or two, do your basic attack string, face tank smaller hits, use combo skills on cooldown, and repeat. I quickly exhausted every single possibility for improvement.
What? That's a sword? What the fuck is going on? Okay, never mind. What? Huh? That's not a shield with spikes on it. I don't know. My world has just been obliterated.
Like duos and solos are not at all challenging. I died more often to platforming than to enemies. This
Skill issue!
Due to the current cast of enemies lacking any real variety or complexity.
Hey, the thing I was literally just talking about.
Sure, it will improve with time, but the state of the game at launch has real implications.
At least Japan is new. He does look fucking awesome.
Has been through these motions
I do think it's funny that they're adding more. They're just adding more downright furries to Enfield, because there was like a character earlier that was literally just like a. Still do not like her design. There was a character earlier that was literally just a pigeon. Just like, it is funny. It is funny.
Today, more than 5 years after its launch,
why does Aurora have a sword? That hurts me.
Challenging endgame modes to the point of
Tobo! Tobo! Wait.
Years after its launch, Arknights is known.
Tobo! Where's Hodor? Tobo! Where the fuck's Hodor? Tobo, what the fuck? Texas? Just Texas? What the fuck? Actually, I mean, to be fair, I don't think you have any. No, is that a guard? That's a sniper. I don't think you actually have any fucking guards. I have no idea what that is in the middle. It's a fucking piano. Okay, there's no guards, so maybe he literally never got a guard recruit. So it's possible. It's possible he has an excuse, but I don't see a Hodor here. I don't see a Hodor here. This footage is before Hodor was released. I see. Okay. All right.
Fully challenging endgame modes to the point of Chinese universities hosting nationwide Arknights tournaments with thousands of dollars in prize money.
Team made Catgirls. Bang Dream Maiko. want to snuggle with Nymph. What the fuck? What the fuck? These. Imagine the group of like sweaty, gross college students being like, yeah, our team want to snuggle with Nymph. Yeah, guys. The fuck? Bang Dream My Go, fucking idol anime fans. Team made cat girl. What the fuck? What the fuck? Team This Great Land. That's probably like some weird translation of like China. What is this? What is this bullshit? What is this? How do do people do this? How is this a real thing?
I've kept playing for all these years because Arknights has such a rich endgame and high skill ceiling, but for a long time it
No, you
didn't.
play it because you're addicted, dude. You play it because you have a severe addiction and you need help. CN kind of
First
cringe.
launch, the most interesting gameplay it had to offer was Chapter 4. It took them years to make integrated strategies a permanent game mode. But the difference is Arknights didn't offer anything else in terms of gameplay.
Well,
There was
this is after IS-5 got released. So now there's no excuses.
Game mode. But the difference is Arknights didn't offer anything else in terms of gameplay. There was nothing else to play the game for. With Enfield, Hypergriff seems to have regressed into doing the
There
same
was
thing to play the
nothing
game
else
for.
to play the game for. Shows 410. That's so true. That is so true. Me, when I complete 410 CM, the entire game's fucking over.
With Enfield, Hypergriff seems to have regressed into doing the same thing by making it frustratingly shallow in its launch state, but doing so this time is a critical mistake. Those who are looking for strategic depth will not find it. It is pathetically easy, and it will remain that way for at least the first
'Cause you
6
gotta
months.
appeal to fucking idiots. Yucky IS mention. IS is literally the best game mode. I don't know how many hours I've spent into IS. If it literally, IS is probably the reason why I'm addicted to Arknights. Just being able, because I love the gameplay of Arknights so much. Just being able to play infinite Arknights is awesome. I love it. Like, IS is my favorite game mode just because I'm like, all right, I'm chilling today. I'm just gonna play some IS. Because I love IS. It's free Arknights. It's just all of the Arknights. I get more Arknights. It's awesome. I fucking love IS.
So, which means once those players have completed their bases, which really doesn't take that much time, they may not stick around for that long. But those who are looking for
Oh
action,
no! The live service game isn't capable of keeping the players around. Oh! IS is the main game mode. All the other shit's just to build more toys around using IS. True. To be honest, 1.7 should be endgame. I mean, yeah, it is. It already is. That's where all the endgame players are playing.
we'll get plenty of it from daily and weekly gameplay.
That's why Enfield needs integrated strategies. Because we need infinite Enfield. What's that? You enjoy the gameplay. You want to play more of the gameplay, except this is a live service game. And because of that, you're going to exhaust all of the gameplay, and you have to wait months before the gameplay comes back when we introduce a new update that you'll complete it all in 2 fucking hours because you skipped all the fucking story because the story's more padding for your playtime than anything. Well, here's a game mode that lets you just play the game forever. Integrated strategies. That was a joke, by the way. Story isn't actually fucking padding. From what I understand, Arknight's story is good. I'm hyped for the next season of the anime. I watched the anime. It was fucking good. If anything, I'm talking more about fucking Genshin. I remember trying to read the story in Genshin and not giving a shit about it. What if they added 1.7 to Enfield? Are there even rocks in Enfield? Are there Ori rocks in Enfield? And are they worth grinding? Bring back the slug check. You know, I will play Arknights. I will play Arknights. Literally, I've never played Arknights before. I will play Arknights Enfield. If they add a weapon that says reduces defense to 0, HP plus 100%, attack plus 100%. Give me that. Give me that. Legit, if Hypergriff somehow manages to add crushers into Enfield, I will play the shit out of it. But they won't. Because they're cowards. And they already know they peaked with Hodor. Arknights story is good. Arknights story is good. I was shitposting. And also probably talking more about other shitty gacha games with shit stories. No, I'm not trying to insult Arknights story. Arknights story is good. I literally, I was thinking of Genshin Impact when I was making that, when I was saying that. I was literally thinking of Genshin Impact, because that's what my experience with Genshin Impact was. Complete the main story, wait for a new update to come out, beat the main content like 2 hours, and I just don't care about the story at all. An anchor you can immediately throw. Exactly. Exactly. Like, that's how you make people actually... Oh, Piana's a cheap copy of Hodor. Exactly. That's how you get people to play Enfield. Hodor is a Sarkaz. Sarkaz probably can live forever. Imagine if... Yeah, Hodor is going to be the main protagonist. Ugh.
Play regardless of the difficulty. The ability to dodge not only gives those action-seeking players their daily dose of dopamine, but also significantly diminishes the need for healing. If their overworld healing needs can be met with items you can craft directly from the backpack, and a 4-star like Snowshine can provide literally all my healing needs with room to spare anyway...
She heals? Like, yeah, like, Aurora heals herself. Wow, what? So Aurora not only wields a fucking sword, but she heals everyone, not just herself? What the fuck is with this? What is this? My immersion is fucking destroyed. What the fuck?
What reason does the action-seeking player have to engage with the base at all? The outposts are optional. All they need at that point is some components to make gear.
To me, the most obvious thing they should do, like, as someone who has literally never played this fucking game, is to make it so you can't use healing items in combat, and that you can only use them outside of combat, and that your healing does not regenerate naturally. But then, you know, HP becomes a resource, and then you have to manage that, and you have to actually be good at the fucking game. But then at the exact same time, then you can't fucking do a bender of the game. You can't just, like, turn off your fucking brain and just be like, I'm gonna play this game for 8 hours a day because I might fucking run out of HP. So that maybe not. But I do think that I'll give more use to the healing items. I don't know. Because, again, yeah, it's like you have the ability to dodge. The thing is, though, is that I do think that a dodge is an element of skill expression. Because you can... It allows you to read what the enemies are doing. And again, it's more to do with enemy design than it is with, like, operator design. Imagine a game with base building required resource management. Yeah, fucking amazing. Imagine that. Just imagine that. That would be insane. You have to, like, have people... you have to make people fucking think for once. But I do think that, like, the main issue with that idea is that you'll end up treating your HP like a resource, and then that'll prevent you from wanting to play the game unless you have enough healing items. But it's like, again, to me, I don't think the dodge is inherently bad. I just think that, yeah, you should be punished for dodging a lot of the time. Like, that, to me, that seems like something that should be, like, you shouldn't be able to cancel out of the dodge. Maybe you, after a dodge, you come completely to a stop. You know, you're punished for like spamming dodge, essentially. Because I remember in the dodge video where Tobo was talking about, it's like you generate the dodges so quickly that you can just kind of spam them, which, you know, kind of defeats the point. It's like there's nothing wrong with a dodge because, you know, it can help you learn like if you're playing a boss, it helps you learn the boss. It helps you it helps you interact with the boss. But you should be punished for dodging. You know, again, if you dodge, you should come to a standstill. You shouldn't be able to spam dodges. You should not be able to do a dodge into a dodge. Like, to me, when you have something that goes dodge into dodge, to me, that doesn't actually say anything about the game, the actual combat. To me, that says, oh, overworld transportation is now going to be easier because you can spam dodge. Like, that's why. You know, in Enfield, the game with the fucking zip lines, where it rewards you for exploring and resource management and letting you traverse things that way. Yeah, imagine that. Add the stamina bar. It doesn't need to be anything. No. Yeah, this game needs fucking rock climbing and gliders. That's what it needs. It needs to be able to, you need to be able to climb every wall. You need to be able to have a glider you can jump off of. It needs stamina so you can go swimming. Go swimming. Oh, I need stamina. I need every single fucking game to be Genshin Impact. I need stamina systems. Oh, I came here to play Genshin again and not to play a new experience. Oh. Guy who's never played Enfield before has very strong opinions about Enfield. Oh.
This, combined with the lack of strategic depth in its launch
Yeah, this is a good way for me to get fucking hate, because like Tobo actually knows what he's fucking talking about, and he's getting fucking hate for this. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So this is worse for me. I'm literally just digging my fucking hole.
It's a serious risk of cultivating a majority of players who are
Enfield is an open world. Gliders just don't work. Yeah, but they need gliders because Genshin has that. They need a glider gacha. We need a glider gacha, guys. We need a glider gacha. I need to be able to wail on the new glider that has boobs on it, chat. Oh.
exclusively invested in the action gameplay. Now, this will be a controversial take, but I would not be making this video were I not willing to defend it.
Chat, get ready to hate him. Get ready to send death threats and racial slurs in his DMs. Don't actually do that, please. Get ready to do that.
I think the best decision Enfield could possibly make after the beta is to remove the dodge entirely.
Needs a cooking system. True. Okay, mate, is to remove the dodge entirely. I'm not sure I agree. Again, to me, I think you should just be punished for dodging, not exactly to remove it. Because then you can't really interact with how the enemies are attacking you. But again, I don't play the fucking game, so I don't know. Maybe just running around the enemy is enough to dodge them. But again, to me, it's like when I think of like an ARPG, it's like boss does big attack during your combo, you should be able to time the dodge correctly. Or if anything, just reduce the iframes of the dodge. Just make it so, like, again, you're punished for incorrectly timing the dodge. Just do that kind of shit, you know? Ugh. Do shit that, again, just punish you for sucking at dodging. Reward you for being good at dodging. That's what you should do. That's how a game should be designed. I think removing the dodge entirely might be too much, but again, I don't play the game, so I'm not entirely too sure. But again, that's also what all of the fucking, like, controversy can... Because again, people are so terminally online. They need controversy about dodging. We're not even halfway through the video. I have probably added more content to the... More fucking... I've transformed this video more than I think XQC has transformed in his life. Like, XQC could literally become a cocoon and transform into a butterfly, and I still would have transformed this content more than he has ever.
Players want, and if the vast majority of players aren't engaging with the base, the game's evolution will reflect that. This is my #1 issue with the game. They are creating a precarious combination of action gameplay and the combat alongside the
My King Hodor wouldn't dodge with you. True. He takes all of your deep cuts and he will take them all.
In a gacha game failing to hold in Zenless Zone Zero's TV mode.
Wait, I need to... I wasn't paying attention.
Combat alongside the slower gameplay of the base. We already have an example of such a precarious combination in a gacha game failing to hold in Zenless Zone Zero's TV mode.
What is this?
Game. It was advertised as an action game. Lo and behold, the action gamers didn't like the TV mode.
What is this? What the fuck is this?
And Hoyoverse decided to all but kill the TV mode entirely. The difference, though...
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Also, Tobo playing Zenless Zone Zero. Bro outed himself. There could be some things that are dodgeable and some that aren't. You have to think about mobility and positioning. Like, yeah, that's... To me, that makes sense. Again, I think the easiest way is to reduce iframes or to just punish you for dodging too much. Like, to me, that's what it should be. Like, dodging should be a way to show skill. It shouldn't be a way to just, like... It shouldn't just be something that, But again, Tobo is probably more along the point of it shouldn't be an action game. Dodging shouldn't necessarily be part of how the gameplay loop is. To me, I do think that when you do just kind of have, it is an ARPG in general, so you kind of, I do feel like that, again, when you have like boss do big attack, it's like, maybe you can just walk around it, maybe, but who knows? Again, to me, I just think that you should be more punishing. That maybe you don't necessarily need to remove the dodge. That I think the dodge might be fine. You just need to make it more punishing.
It is an action game. It was
yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is. What is this? It's like a maze puzzle. What? It was... Are you guys talking about TV mode? What is this? I don't know what this is. TVs were like a maze puzzle.
Lo and behold, the action gamers didn't like the TV mode, and Hoyoverse decided to all but kill the TV mode entirely. The difference, though, is that Zenless Zone Zero was built from the ground up around its dodge.
Tobo playing as a male character based.
Parry mechanics.
Never mind.
It is fundamentally an action game. That is where it's
playing as waifu bait now.
That decision was an act of leaning further.
Never mind. It's no, it's so over. Every time he switches to whatever this female fucking red thing is, it's so over.
Enfield, on the other hand, has been built from the ground up around the base, yet it is taking clear steps towards action gameplay. Obviously, they aren't going to kill off the base entirely.
Wait, so you're telling me this game has depth? And it does something to differentiate itself compared to other Genshin slop? Damn, that's insane! Are you telling me that the base mechanic is so properly interwoven with the actual gameplay that... Oh, are you telling me that the base is a thing that makes the game unique? Ugh.
You might as well...
Female fucking red thing, so certain. True.
Now's end of service at that point, but I am convinced Enfield is sleepwalking into doing something not all that far removed. If the game cultivates a player base who are seeking action, then as more and more regions are introduced, each one asking the player to build a new base from scratch, those action-seeking players will complain, and being the majority of the player base, there is a serious danger of...
Yeah, I do think that wording them like action gamers, because again, it's just like that's like the normie demographic. So, I guess that might be the thing. Would people? Because again, to me, it's less people who like like ARPGs and more just people who are a fan of Genshin slop games. Like that's it. But maybe this is the nicer way of putting that. I don't know. Does the staff seeing this Does the staff seeing this criticism vids? I don't know what that sentence even means. Don't you love it when you read a message in chat out loud and it does not even comprehend?
Hypergriff pivoting to action gameplay for that reason. And we have already seen that Hypergriff is perfectly willing to let you sidestep most of this.
What the fuck is this, Tobo? This better be a friend unit. This is better.
Strategy in their strategy game, so long as you pay up. But for the same reason Hoyoverse's attempts at strategy have been
good slop.
Dog shit, Hypergriff...
What? Wait. What the fuck was that? Wait. Genshin has a fucking tower defense mode? Oh. Yeah, that's what I meant when I was saying hindsight action versus strategy decision. Yeah, I agree. I think it's the not agree, but I don't know. I think, again, it's a nicer way of saying Genshin slop players. You know, of trying to format the game as a strategy game and then putting... I didn't pull it all on her banner. It's obviously support unit. Good. But yeah, it's like you're formatting it towards like the actual strategy, the depth of Enfield is being put at a side to appeal towards the more Genshin slop kind of players. And yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fine. Again, it's merely just wording because I understand what you're saying. But that's also because I'm an awful, evil chud who literally hates, like, everyone who disagrees with me. So maybe that. But what the fuck is this? What is this? I'm actually appalled. What the fuck is this? They can't even bother like changing the camera angle. No, you have to stay in the third person view. So you can look at your fucking waifu's ass while you wait for the slowest gameplay. What is this?
Same reason Hoyoverse.
Look, there's literally a hole right here. No Shaw. No push stroker. Why? Why? There's literally a hole right here. And all you got is what? This is fucking, I don't even remember. Pyro and Electro. Look at that. They're doing the combo. Because when they combine, they overload and they do more damage. That's gameplay depth.
Versus attempts at strategy have been absolute dog shit.
This is the funniest shit ever to me. This is... This is the fucking dumbest shit I have ever seen. I'm actually appalled. Why is this in the game? My friend Loey, he talks about all the time, because he plays Genshin, and he's like legitimately thinking like of quitting. And a lot that he says is that they don't actually add new endgame content. They just add weird side shit like this. They just add weird like, oh, it's a card game now. It's a tower defense game to just get you to log in and try out the new thing without actually like making the game more interesting. They're not actually adding more endgame content. They're just adding all this weird side shit that has nothing to do with the actual gameplay. Like, what the fuck is this? What is this? It's like, It's like if Arknights just released a fucking game mode that legitimately just is like Genshin Impact. It's just a random side mode. Because, like, Arknights does fun side modes, but guess what? Every single one of them is built into the natural tower defense game engine. And it works. It works well. And it's usually just small side things while they still continue to add actual endgame content. What the fuck is this? This is stupid. Hey, we have a game. And Arknights is good. Let's make a tower defense game mode. What the fuck? What a waste of resources. What the fuck? How did a human being make this? Isn't that what Enfield is? Yes, but that's a completely different game. I mean, like, if in Arknights, they just released an event that literally was just like, hey, it's Genshin now. You can use Surtur. Well, again, that is Enfield, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Run a character around a world mode. Didn't we get that for the base? We did. And it's awesome. I'm very, yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing. Ugh. Except that was a nice little side thing they added because they needed to finally take the base out of beta versus whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, the April Fool's event are the close one I'm talking about. Yeah, like they've done that. We've even literally just got like little mini games with whatever that was. But that's very like side stuff. That's to me, that they don't advertise that as the new thing in Arknights. This is stupid. Because for what I understand, for what my friend Loey told me, this is what they're getting instead of actual like endgame content. Again, I could be wrong. Loey could be lying to me. But this is what they're actually getting instead of proper endgame content. Instead, the only endgame content they really have is just stat check, like, you know, dungeons or whatever that are timed, and so they force you to play the meta. So it's just like, what? This is... And it just looks so awkward, because this isn't a tower defense game. At least all the... I mean, I can't actually say... I mean, yeah, at least all the game modes in Arknights properly utilize the engine in cool ways. Like, at least the shoot 'em up, like, actually used the tower defense mechanics. This just... I don't know what the fuck this is. Was not permanent, was it? I don't know, but I've ranting more about this image because it appalls me so much. Who the fuck play? It's like, oh, I'm gonna play Genshin today because they added a fucking tower defense game mode. It's like, just go play fucking Arknights. What do you think of the auto chess inspired game mode? It was great because it properly took advantage of Arknights' mechanics. And it genuinely felt like Arknights. It wasn't, hey, here's a new game that you can play instead of Arknights. It's, here's a new way to play Arknights. Again, the mini games, those are their own thing. Those are silly. They're April Fool's jokes for a reason. Besides the recent like arcade thing we got, which I'm not exactly too sure what the motivation behind that is. But like when I look at this, I'm thinking like, who the fuck asked for this? This isn't a new way to play Genshin Impact. This is a different game. Again, the auto chess game mode is genuinely amazing in Arknights. Because it is just a new way to play Arknights. This is dumb. I hate this. Oh my god. I'm ranting more about this fucking screenshot than I am about anything else.
Hypergriff would not even hold a candle to developers with mature and polished action gameplay systems. Removing the dodge and doubling down on strategic gameplay solves this problem and gives them the space to build on Enfield's strengths and create something truly phenomenal.
That's fair.
It is by far—
The thing is, though, is that I do question where a lot of that strategy comes from. If it is purely just like, oh, can you hold out the combo? Because again, it's like, for me, for what I understand, the only depth it really has is just like, oh, do I go for the full combo or do I dodge to interrupt the combo? Like, that, to me, that's what it kind of feels like. But again, you could have like really cool team building stuff if you can properly design the units, because that's difficult. You know, that can be quite difficult. And again, it has, and for what Tobo has said, the enemies are lacking, so it can be kind of fucking difficult to really work with.
Far the best decision they can make for the longevity of the game. Instead, they are trying to steer it in two different directions simultaneously. One towards that vision they so clearly had a year ago, and one towards appealing to a wider, more general audience.
Which is a nice way of saying people who play Genshin Impact.
If we're being honest with ourselves, though, we all know what general audience really is.
Oh my god. Tobo, why are we on... we're on the same wavelength, man. What is this?
Let's not pretend otherwise. It means the Hoyoverse audience.
Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, he said Hoyoverse, I said Genshin Impact, but yeah, okay, we said the same fucking thing.
Obviously, there's nothing wrong with playing Hoyoverse games. This does not mean every single Hoyoverse fan.
No, there is. There is something wrong with that. Like, you... That's me when I see a fucking Hoyo fan.
The problem is with those who do not see each game as having a unique identity appealing to different kinds of players,
but rather appealing towards that general audience of people who got addicted to Genshin Impact because all of these games are derivative of Genshin Impact.
But rather they see 3D anime RPG gacha game as a genre in it.
Genshin Slop! That's what we call Genshin Slop, baby. Oh.
Itself. And yes, that does include you, Wuthering Waves fans. Hoyoverse and Kuro games both have their roots in action gameplay, while Hypergriff's roots are in strategy. And
yes,
there are still
which is why it's a good game.
That trying to be like Genshin or
this is the no, I want to comment on this. This is awesome. I like this. This is amazing. This makes me happy. But you know what could make this better? Frostleaf.
And yet there are still those who make the argument that trying to be like Genshin or like Wuthering Waves or whatever is a...
I want to, again, I like to analyze the gameplay. That interests me. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah. Not gonna pretend to be surprised. Really? Casters against these fuckers? Don't they have like a bajillion res? I don't remember if I used Cold Shot or just Cruise to deal with those fuckers. Also, I used Hodorer. Wait a minute. Yeah, I used Hodorer during this event. I remember using Hodorer during this event. Where is he? Average Tobo L.
It's a good thing because they're the most popular gacha, and for some reason, popularity is the only thing that matters to these people. I'm going to make what may seem like a strange analogy at first, but just trust me on this.
Bro, my analogy... Oh my god. It's a caster only clear. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I was going to say, I literally made an analogy comparing fan service to cherries on ravioli. You couldn't make anything weirder. I was very much proven wrong. I thought like, no, it can't be. It can't be weirder than the weird shit I was talking about earlier. It's impossible. Chat, Wuthering Waves is just Gangnam Style. Oh, that's peak. Yeah, this is caster only. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Bro apparently hates E2 Connie Palat art? What? Damn, Tobo hates... I'm just gonna look at shit and be like, Tobo hates things, because for some reason he has Elite 1 Connie Palat artwork despite him being E2'd. You thought I wouldn't notice. You thought I wouldn't notice. I noticed. Tobo. You should apologize.
And for some reason, popularity is the only thing that matters to these people. I'm going to make what may seem like a strange analogy at first, but just trust me on this. When Gangnam Style released in 2012, it was a global phenomenon.
I fucking can't. How do you... Okay. Tobo, how the fuck do you say that? Like, how do you record that and not immediately die laughing? His E2 looks weird. Crucify me. No, that's fair. I don't care. But how... Okay, you had to have, like... This had to have been, like, the 50th take. There's no way that you said that without dying laughing. How? Tell me that. Tell me that. Did just E2 Connie right before popping in the stream. Nice. I want to know how many takes this took Tobo, because there's no way he did this first try without fucking dying laughing.
It became the first video to reach 1 billion views on YouTube, and just like that, the Korean pop industry was catapulted into the mainstream. More than a decade after that phenomenon...
Now this was one take, I am him. No way. Okay, I can actually hear you smiling.
Korean pop industry was catapulted into the mainstream.
Yeah, I can hear you smiling. I can hear you smiling when you're saying mainstream, but there's no way, man. You actually are him if that's the case. No, I can hear you crack. I can hear you cracking. You are smiling when you say mainstream
on
here.
YouTube, and just like that, the Korean pop industry was catapulted into the mainstream.
Yeah, because...
More than a decade after that phenomenon, do we now have a thriving industry consisting solely of songs that are like Gangnam Style? Sounds a bit silly, doesn't it? Psy did not stumble upon some magic formula for success which can be repeated forever with the right balance of ingredients, and Psy has explicitly said this himself.
Bro did this much research. Bro researched K-pop.
You know, I cannot...
How do you hear someone smiling? Because you can hear, like, the smirk. There's, like, a small laugh in how he's saying it. You can hear someone smiling. Like, it's like you can kind of hear him, like, trying to hold back laughter.
Call this success because this is called phenomena, and which means I don't do anything. People do it, right? So this was by people, not by me.
K-pop is the leviathan of an industry it is today. Not
K-pop isn't really Gangnam-like, though. K-pop's
because everybody copied Gangnam Style, but because people took advantage of the opportunities Gangnam Style opened up.
Okay, chat, is this real? Is this real, chat? Is this real, chat? Is this real, chat? Because I'm not really going to pretend that I know shit about K-pop. Did K-pop exist before Gangnam Style, and did it literally become a thing because of Gangnam Style? Pop music had to have existed in K-pop, but I guess this is what made it mainstream. I guess that's the point it's making. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know shit about fucking K-pop. K-pop, more like K-poop.
Fast forward to 2020 and Genshin Impact becomes a global phenomenon, catapulting gacha games into the mainstream.
Because it's derivative of a game that already was a massive success. But it added a very cute, very warm, very cozy art style to it. And I'm not gonna lie, when I played Genshin, I legitimately, the art style and the feeling of it is like the main reason to play it. It is such a cozy game. Also, Klee, I actually have her on my Genshin account. I stopped playing Genshin like 6 months after it came out. I do have her. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. I do. Maybe one day I'll reinstall Genshin. There's no way I know my fucking login, so I doubt it.
MiHoYo put some forward-thinking people at the wheel, quickly built a brand identity, renaming themselves HoYoverse, and now, 5 years later, HoYoverse has built a brand identity, renaming themselves HoYoverse, and
Who are these people? Who are these fucking people? How do these people exist? The only reason I preferred Genshin over Breath of the Wild is just because of World of Felt Alive. That's fair. I mean, the thing is, though, is that Genshin is a fun game. I did play it. I played it for a long time. It is a fun game. Issue is, once you beat all of the main story content, there's nothing to do. And at that point, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm done. There's like no reason for me to log in. I'm just logging in, doing dailies, and there's nothing to do. After I do my dailies, I'm just like, all right, that's it. It's like, what am I grinding for? There's no content to fucking do. It's so fucking nonsense.
and now 5 years.
These. Is that Darth Vader? It's Darth Vader over there, isn't it? Look at these people. There's a lot of these people. Chat, there's multiple Klee cosplayers. The West has fallen. The West has fallen.
Later, HoYoverse has found unfathomable sustained success.
Okay. Genshin Impact is not a fucking mobile game.
HoYoverse has found
like, just because you can play it on a phone does not make it a mobile game. It, like... Bloopsy's an anime convention for the first time. True. Okay, it's just like, how? Genshin Impact is not a fucking mobile game. Because I guarantee if you play it on your fucking phone, your hands are going to be fucking charred. And your battery's going to die fucking instantly. And it just barely runs. No. It is not a mobile game. It is a computer game that you can play on your phone horribly. That's what it is. It's like saying PUBG is a fucking mobile game. Because, hey, you have PUBG Mobile. It's like, no, fucking no. No. Stupid. No, it's not a fucking mobile game.
Fathomable.
You're literally comparing a computer game to mobile games. Except I don't know what the fuck any of this is. One of this is League of Legends, so it probably sucks. This is Marvel, so none of these are actual games. One says Pokemon. This is the only one that has the slight possibility of actually being a video game.
Sustained success. But again, this is not because they...
You're the type of person that if they add Hooter to any game, you would play it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bro, you're telling me Honkai Star Rail beat Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Have you seen those fucking gamer phones? The fact that gamer phones exist is fucking stupid to me. Like, oh my god, we need expensive ways. We need expensive fucking ways to play our fucking just literal junk food games. We need to spend $600 on a device so we can optimally play our fucking diet food game rather than just playing on a fucking emulator like a normal person.
Found some magic formula, but because they took advantage of the opportunities brought about by the phenomenon that was and is Genshin Impact.
Which was already derivative in trying to take advantage of a phenomenon that was Breath of the Wild.
This is what people so often miss when they insist that every new gacha game needs to be like some other gacha game.
Which, you know, is Breath of the Wild.
Of course, this is no concern for enlightened and experienced 3D anime RPG gacha game enthusiasts like ourselves. I'm sure our judicious and learned beta testers have provided invaluable feedback to the developers. Shall we peruse a few of them?
No! No! I don't want to look at people on Discord saying things. I'm going to have a heart attack.
Dash feels underwhelming. It should be more forgiving and have more iframes. It's not to my liking because of my action RPG experience.
Oh no, Tobo is entirely fucking correct. Action RPG means Genshin Impact's Endless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, and all that fucking shit.
You don't say! Game is a proper dodge and anyone who says otherwise is coping.
This is so retarded. Oh my god. I was literally talking earlier on how the dodge should be more punishing to make the game more strategic. Alright. These people are gonna show up at my door somehow.
A quick look around the gacha space makes this abundant.
Oh god. Oh, this hurts. This hurts my fucking heart. Oh. Actually felt a pit in my stomach. Oh, and they're so cute too. They're so cute. Look at them. They're so cute. So cutesy.
Not being able to dodge cancel makes the overall combat loop feel unsatisfying because you're forced to take hits that could have been avoided. Yeah, dodging definitely needs rework. Like larger
I want to
frames for casuals.
My stomach actually hurts. Do these people like video games? No, they don't. They don't like video games. They don't like video games. They like gacha games. Gacha games are not video games. Gacha games are sitting on your ass and letting things do shit for you. They are, I'm going to press left click, and then I'm going to press E, and then I'm going to press Q, and just doing that all the time. Bro, you need to watch this part and understand. I can't, Tobo. I literally can't. Okay, fine. I'll let you... I can't. I just gotta rip off the Band-Aid. I just have to rip off the Band-Aid. Okay. I need water. I ran out of water. Oh, I just gotta rip it off like a Band-Aid, right? I just have to rip it off like a Band-Aid? Oh. Okay. We could do this, chat. We could do this.
Dash feels underwhelming. It should be more forgiving and have more iframes. It's not to my liking because of my action RPG experiences. You don't say! Game needs a proper dodge and anyone who says otherwise is coping. A quick look around the gacha
coping for what? Coping about what?
Cancel makes the overall combat loop feel
that's a
unsatisfying.
proper punishing you.
Hits that could have been avoided. Yeah,
that's I need to pause this.
Larger iframes for casuals and consecutive dodges and dodges not breaking your basic attack combo and more dodging distance and making dodges more rewarding and making
they're supposed to be more punishing.
It would make combat faster. Please make more attacks more powerful and also make each hit give SP. And
what?
Also stagger. And
no.
Also please give SP whenever I dodge. Also please make dodges use less stamina.
No.
Also,
you're supposed to be punished.
It feels like some essential features are missing, like iframe rolls and parrying and deflecting.
Hey, remember what I said about players wanting more and more action if a dodge exists? Make SP boss 4 instead of 3 and make it recharge faster. Right now, there's no incentive to swap to another character during combat. It cancels the animation and doesn't change the position. I hope they make it more like Wuthering Waves. Combat's already way better than
How long is this? How long is this?
Being too different will scare new players away. They changed it from the technical test for a reason. But this is my view as someone who's played lots of recent gacha games like Genshin Impact, Zero, and Wuthering Waves, but never the original Arknights.
What?
By the way, there is Girls Frontline down strategic approach, which is exactly why I'm not playing it. Here are some exploration options in the competitive.
I need to pause this.
Genshin Impact. The game should tell me which weapon to put on my character. Like
what?
In Endless Zone Zero. Also, the game should tell me which gear to put on my character.
What?
Like in Endless Zone Zero. Overworld exploration feels kind of slow. A good example of how to make it better would be Wuthering Waves. Right now, this feels like a certain game where the combat is you running around and combining different skills to get the reaction. Damn, that's crazy. I wonder why. Jump feels too short and floaty. It would be great to increase the height or allow a double jump.
Why?
Redo all
what?
The geometry. What do you mean? This is especially important because of improvements to exploration the competition has been making. Will you please fuck off? It would be great if they considered adding platforming abilities like a double jump and wall climbing and swimming and the grappling hook.
In a fucking
fun aspects of open world game. It's not.
An open world game, for crying out loud! All the big open world gacha games let you carry over the pity. So this system will not bode well for most of the mainstream gacha community. Well, they can bloody well fuck off then! People need to learn how to skip banners. This is stupid.
Based!
Just look at
Tobo based!
wanted to be more like Hoyoverse. And they're the most popular gacha, period. Not carrying over the guarantee in a game competing with
I have to pause this. I have to fucking pause this.
The concept of dupes is already
No, I need to respond to this. This is hurting.
I know very few people that play Arknights, but dozens that play Hoyo and Kuro game. This is a lie. You know people who play one Kuro game. It is Wuthering Waves specifically. Don't fucking lie to me! It's about what your competition does in business. Oh my god, you people are insufferable. I keep pulling after I...
Innovation is bad! Just keep giving me the same slop! I want the same slop! I want to be fed slop! Nom 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 nom! Eat the slop! Eat the good slop!
X-Pulls to get it guaranteed, and a higher chance to get it at X-Pulls. This is literally the Enfield system, you idiot! Mark my words, if this system goes
Why is this so long?
The player base from
Why is this so long?
will absolutely not play long term. Bear in mind, by the way, this is just from the
Is it over? Is it over? Is it over? It's over, right?
Server. There will be far more of this in the private feedback survey.
Please tell me it's over.
I want to highlight one more post, however, in which two testers state similar
not
concerns to
over.
mine and
It's
on
not
a
over.
rather depressing response. The first tester says, currently there are a lot of action elements, but the battles don't feel exciting. I think the battle system in the technical test might be more enjoyable. When it comes to action, other companies' games are more refined, and the current system just feels like an inferior version of them, which is just annoying.
Because it's a different game.
The second agrees. There are some opinions that it's plain compared to other games, but Enfield is differentiated from others and is interesting in its own way, so I don't want it to be swayed by those opinions and make it feel too action-oriented. If the dodge window is too lenient, it'll just become a dodging action game. While the third tester, eloquently summing up the vast majority of the feedback, says, I agree with increasing the action element. The reason is simple, it will attract a wider range of players. This, essentially...
Innovation. We can't innovate. We can't make something that isn't the popular thing. Because the reason why people are attracted to Arknights Enfield is not because they want a new experience, it's because they want the same experience. They want another gacha game to play. For some reason, they're not satisfied with Genshin Impact, or Honkai Star Rail, or Wuthering Waves, or Zenless Zone Zero. They're not satisfied with that. They're not satisfied with that for some reason. Instead of just playing more of the game, they want more gacha games to play. They want more dailies to log in for. Or maybe they're at a point where they're at the end game in all of those other games and the developers don't know what they're doing. That there is no more end game content, and so people are just done with the game. And rather than continuing to play the experience, or dare I say, starting a new account, they just want everything else to be more of the same. Because it's an addicting, comfy, easy access, nice experience that gives them dopamine. Again, I don't know. Again, Tobo could be lying. Maybe Arknights Enfield isn't a strategy game. Maybe it isn't. But it might be. And if it is a strategy game, it's meant to be a strategy game. If that is truly the intention, then these people are playing the wrong game. And what sucks is that the people who want slop are the whales. They are the people who want to pull for gacha. They want more characters. They want more things. They want more of the same thing. They don't want new things. They want the same thing. The reason why Arknights is such an objectively good game is because of how much it innovates, how different it is. Because it's not just an innovative gacha game, it's an innovative tower defense game. There is no tower defense game that you can find that is similar to how Arknights plays at all. That is why it is such a good game. It is a good game. It is not a good gacha game. It is a good game. the objective should not be to make good gacha games. It should be to make good games. Because games are good. Gacha games are not. Gacha, most of the time, holds things back from being good. But sadly, that's what people come for. People come for gacha. Gacha is the slop that people want. And again, it does suck. Because again, Genshin Impact isn't a bad game. And I highly doubt that Zenless Zone Zero or Honkai Star... Actually, Honkai Star was really fucking boring. That's just because there is no actual gameplay to it. But again, it's like these are not bad games. But this weird idea of homogenizing everything to just be the same thing. It's not about taking what is new. It's not about innovating. It's not about having a new experience. It's about having the same experience over and over and over again. A huge reason why I like Arknights. My Tamimi video, my recent Tamimi video, is all about how Tamimi isn't an objectively good operator. But she introduces me to a new experience, a new way of playing Arknights. And that is why I like Arknights. People don't want new experiences. Tamimi is bad. She's bad. You should never pull for her. Winflet is bad. You should never pull for him. Kirara is bad. You should never pull for her. Spurry is bad. You should never pull for her. They're all bad. You should never pull for them. Even though they change how you play the game. They change how you approach stages. They make you think. They try and make the game new and different. Where a lot of people would, rather just play the exact same meta lineup over and over and over again. Because they're fine with just the comfy way of playing Arknights, of just having put in thing, get out reward. And a lot of that, is part of this, like, Genshin slopification of gacha games. I fucking love that. Fucking love saying the Genshin slopification, because that's a great fucking video title. If anyone wants to fucking steal that. But Genshin Impact legitimately has just homogenized games. You have one thing that's successful, and a bunch of people who just want to eat the junk food. You know? It's like, again, more weird analogies. You have McDonald's, right? Everyone loves McDonald's. And imagine you open Taco Bell. And Taco Bell's awesome. Most of the operators you just mentioned are all welfare, so you can't pull for them. Kirara is not welfare. Spurry is not welfare. Winflet is not a welfare. And I named one other. Tamimi is a welfare. You got me there. But, Tamimi is a welfare. That's fair. But you know what I mean. When you have, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's like you have McDonald's and you open Taco Bell because you want to sell tacos and you want people to come to your store because you sell tacos, not because you sell burgers. But then everyone's complaining that you're not selling burgers because they like burgers. They really like burgers. And so they're basically saying, hey, you suck. You're not giving us burgers. And eventually, it just forces the market to only make burgers. And that's it. Wait, am I just stupid? I mean, you weren't stupid with the Tamimi. That she is a welfare operator. I just enjoy playing Leslie with pushers, so the enemy's never blocked. That's based. That sounds really funny. But yeah, it's again, everything needs to become Genshin. Everything needs to be McDonald's. We can't innovate. We can't try new things. I don't know. It does suck. Because again, it's like the obvious answer is to be vote with your wallet because, you shouldn't want to, economically support these games. But the whales do. They're the irrational consumers who are willing to give all of the money to these kinds of games, and it sucks. And really, the most you can do, the best you can do is to just not play those games and play good games. You can't really change the landscape of things, which sucks. But you can still at least change what you want to play. Like my operators surviving things they shouldn't, having stupid high HP. Me too.
is the mindset of people who keep asking for the game to be something it's not. They have no concept of carving out a niche in the market, or games having unique identities, or the developers having their own vision.
You know
It's
what's
all just
funny is that I say the exact same thing about Arknights, is that a lot of operators in Arknights have their own unique identities, and yet people will instead criticize because they're not like the meta. They're not like what they're comfortable with using. It's the exact same kind of mindset that I criticize. You know, that people want more generalist operators. People don't like the specialty in Arknights. People want, you know, every operator to be able to perform every single role at the same time. They like these like really nice and comfy to use super generalists. And so you know, when I'm over here just being like, hey, I like this operator because it performs a specific niche that I enjoy. I enjoy the niches of Arknights. You know, then you have people who say like, oh, but the resources, oh, but the resources, and, you know, how do you expect me to play the game unless I'm playing with the meta? And it's bizarre. People just really, really like things that... People in Arknight, like the general Arknights player base, really, really, really like the very generalist operators kind of just do everything. Surprised FGO is ranking so high. Apparently it's making more money than it did in January. Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened for Arknights? What the fuck? This is... no, Opianus was November, wasn't he? I was gonna say, like, this is pre-Opianus release, post-Opianus release. No, Opianus was in, like, November, I'm pretty sure. Didn't look at the online community for Arknights for a long time when I started out. When I did, I realized people playing this game, such totally different mindsets. Yeah, me too. When I first played Arknights, I intentionally distanced myself from the community. I wouldn't look at anything. I wouldn't look at, you know, threads. I wouldn't look at videos. The only thing I would do is look at the wiki to find information that I wouldn't otherwise have available in the game. And so yeah, when I have like started to make content, people would, yeah, be very critical. Just like, oh, but you don't understand. When it's like, well, clearly we're playing the game for two very different reasons. To me, it really does suck. I've never completely understood the resource argument, since resources aren't really limited. I have an M6 9-color deer and a random ass 5-star soap, but I've never used them. I'm completely fine. Yeah, exactly. Like, you guys know my account. My account is like complete nonsense. Like, you guys know my account. My account is full of a bunch of 5 stars. I play with all of the I have literally every 4-star Elite 240, except Quartz, who's at Elite 270. And then I have like all of the 5 stars. I only have, I think, 10 6-stars at Elite 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, I lied. And the reason why these, I have them at Elite 2 is because I just find them fun. And that's it. And I don't even use them that much. And yeah, I did get Ak up to Elite 260. But despite that, I'm still perfectly capable of experiencing the game. You guys can't see... Okay, well... Fuck, that's chat. Wait. EX8 isn't CM'd because that stage sucks. Because, kind of sucks. And that was the only... No, yeah, that in... EX7 and EX8. No, EX7, CM, and EX8 were the only 2 stages I used 6 stars on. And it was just one Opianus, that's it. But, like, you can play the game. You don't need, like, all of these... like, the resource argument is just wrong. Because I know. Because I play the game building whatever operators I want, and I'm perfectly fine and capable of beating the game. And yeah, I do use 6 stars sometimes. Actually, this auto-clear was because I needed footage for my Hodor video. That's why that's there. But yeah, it's like, that's how I beat the CM stage. With two bad operators. Using Opianus and not Ho. Yeah, I know. I wanted I was able to just use like wind chimes and quartz instead of Hodour, so I'm like, I might as well. You know, I don't want to be too carried. But it's like, you can just play the game however the fuck you want. And so like this desire for, again, it's what bugs me is like the desire for homogenizing operator design. Every operator needs to have, you know, if every operator needs to ignore defense and resistances, they all need to have insane stats, they all need to be able to lane hold, they all need to be AFK, they all need to do all this other shit. And to me, that ruins a lot of the experience of Arknights. That ruins a lot of what makes Arknights really special to me. I don't like the generalization of operators. I don't like having an operator who only exists to just be general DPS, because that's what a lot of operators feel like nowadays. It's like, you know, like with Shu, it's like she doesn't do DPS, but she does like literally everything else. You know, she heals, she buffs, she fucking teleports things. It's just a lot. And I've gotten criticism in my in my Crushcast thing, you know, criticizing the design of 6 stars because obviously people don't like that. And obviously I don't really give a shit if you like a 6 star that I don't. That's fine. You're allowed to fucking like things. God forbid. But it is, to me, it sucks. Because it's this want to homogenize the game that ends up, homogenizing it and kind of ruining some of the experiences. Majority of players are more casual, don't want to put in effort. It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's like I'm not a serious player. I'm not. To me, I am a casual. I don't really sweat when I play Arknights, but I do enjoy the grind. I do enjoy failing, and to me, it's like if you can't play the game without carrying, if you can't, without being carried, if you can't really play the game without requiring guides and that kind of stuff, it's like, well, why are you playing the game? A lot of people say story, and that's fine. You know, that's fair. I can understand that. But there are other resources to consume the story. Have I watched Toboro's new video? I have, which is why I wanted to watch this. I originally didn't watch this video because I thought I wouldn't understand it because I don't play Enfield. But after watching his most recent video, I do think that I would have been able to understand it. And I wanted to react to it as a joke. To make fun of reaction streamers. And that's, that it stopped being that. Now we're all just dooming in chat.
Just monthly revenue PvP. It is boring, it is exhausting, and I lament the apparent reality that Hypergriff seems to be listening to them. As it stands, the base is the one and only thing differentiating Enfield from other gacha games. Thankfully, the majority of people anticipating the game's release do seem to understand how important the base is for that reason. But while it does have tons of room to grow and become even better, I have become convinced it will not. The most optimistic outcome I can believe in is that new regions will have a new gimmick, like Jinlong's fluids and pipes. You build a new base with it over the course of maybe a few days at most. The vast majority of players will be satisfied, and that's where it will end. Gacha games are not conventional games. Fundamentally, the characters are the product, and the game is simply a vessel through which the product is marketed.
I'd say caster? Caster? Surter?
Characters are the product, and the game is simply a vessel through which the product is marketed. But reducing all gacha games to this fundamental is boring. They're fun.
True.
There's so much potential in the live service model for outstanding single-player games to see years of consistent
Wait. Was that...
Potential in the live service model for outstanding single-player games.
Oh, I thought...
To see years of consistent
that was what
improvements. To foster thriving communities that conventional games often don't have the lifespan for. Instead, a subset of the communities that already exist are preventing that potential from being realized by consistently pushing new endeavors with unique visions into the same box until they all become homogenized imitations of the same thing. Hypergriff needs to decide if they are content with being that.
I do appreciate that my rants are like foreshadowing for what Tobo actually just says in the video.
Because a game for everyone is a game for no one. There was a moment while playing through the main story.
Well, I mean, it is for someone. You know, Genshin Impact fans.
I think will stick with me for many years. I was thinking about some moments from the alpha, like Fial's desperate attempts to jump onto this ledge because I was standing on it and admiring certain details on the blighted gigaspawns. My boy was caked up. Holy.
Tobo!
I happened to be in the
Tobo!
Origin Load Spring region at the time, and I noticed why the music for this place in particular felt so eerie. Remember the menu theme I was glazing earlier? Now compare that motif to the music from this part of the map. It invokes a feeling of loss, a feeling of knowing something will never be the same again. And suddenly, I had to stop what I was doing because I was hit with an overwhelming feeling of nostalgia for the Alpha.
Are you having fun, Tobo?
It's really satisfying, actually. I'm a big fan of it. There's so much potential in what the combat can, like, what this combat can be. Do you have any other comments on the overall storyline? Okay. I can write an essay for this. I want the story to have a spine and let writers take risks. I'll be disappointed if it's dumbed down and basic.
The point Genshin Impact should be a Slayer.
Wait, no. Angelina!
Angie, that's not how you abuse gravity.
Damn it! I was gonna make that joke. I was gonna say just make yourself weightless so you don't fall. Motherfucker. Alright. Tobo, your Twitch chat apparently... God damn it. Fuck. I was gonna make the joke. I was gonna make that joke. Damn it. Okay.
Angie, no.
Fuck.
I'm sorry. I really hope they commit to what they've got here. I think it's sick. Commit to the vision, commit to no dodge and shit. Obviously, like, it needs refining and stuff. But...
You do understand not many people will agree with you.
Yeah, I know. As long as they're actually playing the alpha and understand what the vision is and what it's asking of them, it's totally fine. If they disagree, like, all I can reasonably ask of someone is to think for themselves, right?
Poor Tobo. Poor Tobo. I think this is just more proof that I'm not as funny as I think I am, if apparently Tobo's Twitch chat can make the same jokes I do.
I can't fucking wait for this game's full release, man. This is a technical alpha. It's like a really bare bones version of this game, and it's already like, I've just been unable to put it down. Just actually insane. I'm so excited, dude. I can't wait.
It feels a little weird to talk about it this way because it was literally only a year ago, but I'm making this video in the first place because I need to express how it made me feel. I had so much optimism for what the game could be, but now that optimism is becoming silent lamentation. If Endfield continues on the path it's currently on, every gacha developer with an eye on this game will see the trend. Originality is overrated, and the path to success lies in imitation. The men in suits will take notice, and unique, interesting ideas with oceans of potential will not even see the light of sunrise. Endfield is a dying canary in a coal mine. That canary may not be dead yet, but I am not at all convinced Hypergriff is interested in saving it. What could have been the harbinger of a golden age could instead doom itself to be the death knell of gacha games. I have given every possible piece of feedback I can give to the developers, and so I have done all that I can to convince them to remain faithful to the vision they clearly had. For now, I can only hope the decisions which need to be made will be made by those who are just as enchanted with that vision as I am, and I won't be left wondering what could have been.
Cool, bro, but that's just kind of cope, not gonna lie. Bro's just coping. That was a great video. Person below this comment at... Okay. That was a great video. Give that a like. His crash on Laserfed, true. True. No, that was a very good video. I did really like that. Because it does parallel a lot of the same complaints that I have about Arknights in some elements.
Directly from the backpack.
No, that was good. That was a good video. That was really done. That was well done. So now ignore this one, look at the second. I already seen the second one, so my reactions don't really carry much weight. But that was a very good video. I can't really say anything else because I already kind of said all the stuff that I've said. Like I'm already... You know what? You know what we can watch? No, we can watch something. We can watch something else. Watch my favorite video.
Live life, never bugged with Stem's multi-insect spray.
You can watch my favorite video.
Around people and pets.
Didn't realize you were only watching the first one.
Botanical extracts.
This was more meant to be a joke.
Live life, never bugged with Stem.
But yeah, no, this is just the first video because I did watch the new one.
I want licking his clean feet.
New outfit for Ponsiris.
Love those legs and belly.
Can't believe humans like this exist. Wait. Admiral of Lollies 2. There's another one.
Love those legs and belly.
Oh.
New outfit for Hodor.
Let's fucking go, chat. Let's fucking go, chat. The White Sargonian wins again. You know what I find funny? What I find very funny is that Hodor has so many memes. There are so many Hodor memes. It originally started with the S3 copy pasta. Originally started with the S3 copy pasta. You got Hodor's ass. Hodor's ass is a good one. You got him becoming a pharaoh. That's a good one. There's one more. There's one more Hodor meme. Oh yeah, him in You Official. There's so many. There's so many Hodor memes, and I do like to say I am responsible for all of them. Because you want to know something? Arknights, Crunchyroll. Okay, you want to know something I'm actually really proud of? I'm really proud of. What is? Oh my god. Okay, here's something I'm really proud of. You already watched this that was his first video. So this is the trailer for season 3 on the official Crunchyroll YouTube page. Top comment is the Hodor copy pasta, right? You go into the replies. First you have some Giga Chads. Yeah, you have some Giga Chads. We have some Giga Chads in chat. We have some confusing... Actually, Shiloh, I'm sure he's a viewer, so I actually just called him cringe. You have some people who don't seem to understand the joke and just want to say meta things. But you have this guy, Khan 2102. He's like, I love these memes. I wonder who started them. It's like, oh, who could have started these memes? And then you have this guy over here. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was the YouTuber Bloop. Like, I did it. It is entirely me. I am the reason for this. According to this commenter on the official Crunchyroll YouTube channel, I am responsible for all of this. That is my impact. That is the legacy that I will leave on this planet. I've peaked. I've actually just peaked. And yeah, I have already watched the new Tobo video. I have already watched it. And it was because I watched this video that it made me want to watch the first one. Because I thought I just wouldn't understand the Arknights Enfield video. And then I watched this for some fucking reason. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, I guess I will understand it. Because Tobo is good at script writing and editing. And he's capable of allowing... able to make me understand the complaints he has without me having to be a professional at the game. It's like, God forbid, Tobo, you make good videos. Also, it is crazy how he has very quickly surpassed me in subscribers only through like 3 videos. We're just watching Tobo videos now. Everyone, get your 07s ready for the national anthem.
Why do you all feel so compelled? Would anyone please care to tell why 50 fucking people in a row bring wish Adele? What is the point of co-op mode if 0 of you seem to know the meaning of the co-part of the word? I will explode. Do none of you feel guilty taking any sense of fun away from everybody else you pair with who's just trying to fucking play the game without resorting to this boring cockroach cabaret? Look at this fucking bullshit. I just want to play the game. Just let me enjoy things. I saved up
Shades
for
formative
so
content.
My wife who could blast all the bad guys away. Stop playing with only one hand, my brother. You must understand. Let me enjoy things. Only go so far. It's not a fair demand in single player. That's okay. It's not affecting how I play. For God's sake, brother, this is co-op mode, not your buffet. Look, what am I supposed to do here? It's as if you're saying you're just here to spectate while my wife who shines. Co-op? Does that mean stand aside and watch me use the same shit you've been forced to watch 1,000 times? No one ever challenges any.
Let us all acknowledge he's got the Hoder. He's got the backup Hoder. I do want to say I don't know what his lineup is, but it is based. It's like, what do we got? Okay, what is that? Kyuubi, Ak, of course Ak. I think that's Silence. When you got Ray, Ascalon. I don't really know. Is that Viviana? Oh, it might be Jessica. It's like it's just based. It's just a based lineup. Like, and then his sub is like, oh, is that Guan King in April? It's like, bro.
Everybody's.
What's that, Nightingale? I wish I could see them, but it's based. It's based.
What is the exact same thing? Shout out to the one guy using Rainbow Six because 99% of the entire English server shares one brain cell. Let me tell you what the pattern is. They'll use Walter Logos, Myrtle AFK, fast redeploys. So much for no one's forcing you to use her. Just don't pull if you don't like her. Just play however you want. All of you cretins were deflecting to absolve yourself of guilt, so maybe you're just being a cunt. I'm taking matters into my own hands. This is my villain arc. If none of you will let me play the game, I'll keep deploying arc behind your dear beloved waifu wish Adele before I cast durian flavored stimpack resolutely up her ass. If you kill my waifu, then I'll troll you harder by throwing the whole game so that you will lose. My brother, I need you to see my goal's no longer victory. The moment she's deployed, you will lose.
No,
My brother, I need you to see.
There we go, chat. Hey, you know who can't survive Ak? Wishadel. You know who can? Hoder. Because he'll take all your deep cuts. He'll take them all.
My goal's no longer
I do love this video because I remember when it came out. It's pinned in my private server's meme section. I legitimately just love this video. It's weirdly catchy. It's weirdly catchy.
victory the moment she's deployed. My only goal is trolling thee. You could have brought Shining S3, instead you picked this fucking sheep. The only ones who didn't all play Sark as only. All the rest of you were simply far too busy gooning, accelerating your decay into a drooling, acquiescent NPC.
Ark continues to be the objectively best operator in the game, besides Hodor.
Attacks an ally within range, prioritizes allies directly in front of this unit 15 times for 500 damage, and then increases attack by 50% and attack speed by 50 of self and that unit for the remaining duration of this skill. And if you think I'm being mean, brother, that's literally
the entire fucking point.
So fuck up with your wish, Adele, and let me play the game without your god-forsaken,
so good.
waifu. And until then, I'll keep on being me because I've never been more grateful that I built my ark.
So peak. So unbelievably peak. Ugh. I need to upload a cover of Settle into Ash. Okay, I can't because my voice sucks and I can't sing Settle into Ash because the vocals are way too good on that song to replicate. Like, if I upload it, it'll just be cringe. It'll just be cringe. That'll be it. So good. So good. Sup, Armhead? You missed the entire stream. Cool. Also, someone was saying that they couldn't find my other reaction to the other video. That's because I didn't stream it. This is the first time I've ever streamed me reacting to a YouTube video. And I watched it on my own time. I was literally just outside chilling, enjoying my day. And I'm like, I'm going to watch this cool video. And then I watched it. I'm like, man, Toboro's really fucking based. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go say hi to him. So yeah, I know, that was a good video. Everyone go sub to Toboro. What am I talking about? You're already fucking subbed. You should be. You already fucking should be. You all should be subscribed to me. You all should be subscribed to me. But yeah, Ak is... legitimately, I do low-key kind of want to make a video where I just talk about Ak, because I think he is such an objectively, like, well-designed operator. Like, I love Ak. He's awesome. Again, it's like this cool, niche, interesting design that you just don't fucking see anymore, because everything needs to be good at doing everything. We're not allowed to have well-designed operators. We only get slop. Because that's what Exusiai the New Covenant is. You know everything that's good about Ak? What if we took that away and just gave you what's left of it? And that's it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Do you think that would be a 4-star geek? Maybe. I do think geeks are a little weird. And may not be very amazing to give to a 4-star, but it could be possible depending on how they do it. M9 him max module. I'm going to max his module. I'm going to M3 his S1. That's my plan. Because I want to do... Because my stream yesterday was me just, like, screwing around with his S1 and IS5, and that was so much fun. Ugh. Maybe you can extend to break down every point he has trashing gacha gamers in an entire decade. It'll bring money, especially if you triggered some fan and we'll name them. Yeah, if I just gotta hate bait. I just gotta hate bait. Because the things that I'm saying aren't because I actually believe them and aren't because I'm principled. It's because I want to spread hatred. That's the job of a streamer. To spread extremism and hatred to the people of the world. Not to, have emotion or to have feelings or anything. But yeah, Toboro, absolute peak. Maybe I will stream the part 1. I don't know if I will because I've already seen it, so it won't be very good reaction. But thank you all for watching. This was very fun. It was a very fun stream. Goodbye, everyone, and everyone go sub to Toboro.